Baby, if Diddy thought the trial would be the end of people dissecting every bit of his life, he is totally mistaken. Now that 50 Cent has released his documentary and has vowed to release part 2, we have people bringing up Kim Porter again, with reports suggesting that the new documentary will expose what happened to Kim Porter and the alleged STD Diddy gave her. And we've also got Kim's father allegedly saying that he doesn't believe Kim died of pneumonia. Okay, just to refresh your memory, when Cassie took the stand in Diddy's trial, she gave some truly shocking testimony about what was allegedly happening during the so-called freak-offs. She said a huge part of her life was spent recovering from them, explaining that these encounters often lasted 1 to 2 days, and one, she claimed, went on for more than 4 days straight. Cassie testified that the freak-offs were extremely choreographed, with Diddy allegedly controlling everything, supplying all the materials, and even directing affiliates to stock rooms with baby oil. She said this wasn't occasional, it was weekly, over a long stretch of years. In addition, Cassie said that it was impossible to say how many freak-offs she participated in while she was linked to Diddy, though she guessed it may have been hundreds. She also said that Diddy threatened to blackmail her with videos he recorded of her. Then she also said that she would suffer urinary tract infections after performing in back-to-back freak-offs, to the point that Cipro, a common UTI antibiotic, no longer worked for her. I mean, we even recently had one Clayton Howard, one of the male escorts, dragging both Cassie and Diddy to court after the verdict, claiming that Cassie gave him an STD and then got rid of a pregnancy. He says Cassie manipulated him into taking ecstasy and having unprotected action. And he says she would order him to get off for hours on end, resulting in tears, skin peeling, and scabbing to his Lil Willie. OMG. Basically, the assumption people make is that if Diddy was already involved with Cassie and others while he was still with Kim, then there's a strong chance Kim may have been exposed to whatever Cassie was reportedly trying to treat. There have also been claims, and so-called receipts, suggesting that Diddy allegedly used Cassie as a way to humiliate Kim. I mean, do y'all remember when that hotel footage of Cassie leaked? One of Kim Porter's alleged friends, Cola Boof, has spoken out about this, saying she's been holding these beliefs for nearly 2 decades. Cola publicly stated that the Diddy situation wasn't a surprise to her, and that she has long felt he was responsible for Kim's early death. She wrote, "This Diddy thing is not a surprise, but it makes me remember the horrible way he treated my friend, Kim Porter, and how I've always silently held him responsible for her young death." In other posts, Cola also questioned the official narrative, saying that rich black women don't just suddenly die of pneumonia at 47 with no family around, isolated, locked away from the world, instead of receiving care in a hospital. Cola also specifically said that Cassie let herself be flaunted in Kim's face and laughed at how Diddy was treating Kim, saying that ironically, Cassie back then allowed herself to be used to disrespect Kim in her own home. Cola said that she does feel bad for how Cassie was treated by Diddy, but still, she remembered when Cassie allowed herself to be used against Kim, as Diddy humiliated her for years. Then she said, "Y'all have always hated me for talking real about these men, but they deserve it. What y'all saw in that video of Diddy roughing Cassie was nothing. We'll never forget the time he tried to make Kim Porter lick Cassie's tampon." She even went on to narrate how one time at 4 in the morning, Diddy brought Cassie, who was basically a teenager, into his bedroom where Kim was sleeping, and woke up Kim and told her to get out of the bed so Cassie can get in it. And you know what? Other than Cassie, Diddy was also using other women to humiliate Kim. And I know that because there was a lawsuit that was filed by April Lampros that described in detail 4 times Diddy acted like an animal towards her. According to April, the first incident allegedly happened back in 1995 after she met Diddy at a New York City bar. She claimed he pressured her to drink, and after just a few sips, she started feeling uneasy. She said she was then guided into a car with him and taken to a hotel. In the lawsuit, April alleged that once they arrived, she continued feeling unwell and was lying on the hotel bed when Diddy forced himself on top of her and began kissing her against her will. She said when she turned her head away, he allegedly grabbed her face and kept kissing her, then undressed her despite her repeatedly saying she didn't feel well and asking him to stop. According to April, she eventually passed out while he continued. Yikes. But here's where it gets interesting. April also described a different encounter that involved Kim Porter, alleging that she was at Diddy's apartment in Manhattan with Kim after they had returned from a nightclub. club, and Diddy told both of them to open their mouths and forced ecstasy down their throats. Then he forced them to hook up as he watched and got off from watching Kim and April. But it didn't stop there for Diddy, because after forcing the two ladies to hook up, April added that Diddy proceeded to force himself on her. Think about it. If Diddy was constantly taking various women back home and even forcing Kim to allegedly hook up with them, what are the chances that she would contract something? Baby, your guess is just as good as mine. Now, other than this, I have also seen other allegations of an open relationship Kim had with Diddy, detailing encounters with other celebrities, including notable married people. Then there have been other disgusting rumors about how Diddy started using voodoo and cursing people, and Kim allegedly said she didn't even know how to react to that. Based on these rumors, Diddy was making Kim have intercourse at 9 months pregnant with groups of people for energy harvesting and to keep his fame and fortune going. Like he literally ran a gangbang on his pregnant wife with celebrities. Allegedly, Kim told Diddy that she was not comfortable doing all that spiritual stuff, but Diddy was like, "Do you trust me? Do you like the things we have? Then we gotta do what we gotta do to make sure we keep having these things." I mean, if any of this is even remotely true, then there's a high possibility that just like the streets have been suggesting, Kim did get probably a few STDs. And have we also forgotten about Usher? I'm sure y'all have heard the long-standing allegations claiming that Diddy supposedly gave Usher an STD, right? Well, according to the rumors, that was allegedly one of the bombshells meant to be exposed in the book Kim Porter was working on, the same book that mysteriously disappeared right before she passed. Allegedly, the book went into detail about Diddy's supposed interest in BBCs, his alleged relationships with other men, and how Usher's mom reportedly confronted him after discovering what was going on, accusing him of being intimate with Usher and allegedly passing along an STD. What's been said is that while Kim was allegedly going through security footage from Uptown Records because she suspected Diddy was playing her, she supposedly stumbled across something shocking: footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell doing you-know-what. That was the last thing she expected to find while reviewing those recordings, but according to the claims, she did, and she kept the footage, allegedly. But the reports don't stop there. It's also been claimed that Kim had video footage of Diddy allegedly taking advantage of Usher as well, and that footage supposedly disappeared after someone broke into her home shortly before her death, with the only items taken being her laptops. Speaking of Usher and STDs, there's a time a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and John Doe, sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher, and they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged diagnosis, and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice, and after contracting herpes from him, her twins were stillborn. Now, rumor has it that this is the same STD that Usher had gotten from Diddy.
Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that.
So, again, based on all this and other shocking claims, people don't really doubt that Kim may have contracted something. Okay, something else is that allegedly Kim Porter's father has been saying that Kim did not die of pneumonia. Well, there have already been allegations and reports from people who were close to Kim saying that there was blood located on Kim's pillowcases and also a slight trail of blood on the bedroom floor that led to the bathroom. They say that Kim was not found unresponsive in her bed, but she was discovered on the bathroom floor, and if they found her in bed, then she was strategically placed there. In addition, there have also been several reports saying that the original coroner who conducted Kim's first autopsy suspected foul play with the amount of a certain toxin that was found in Kim's system. The late coroner, Ed Winter, said that the situation needed to be investigated further, but he was replaced by another coroner, and it took a long time for the second coroner to conclude that Kim had passed because of pneumonia. Yeah, I don't think many people truly truly believe Kim died of pneumonia, and the fact that her father allegedly called the autopsy a load of nonsense only adds fuel to the fire. Now, I know there's been speculation that Kim's dad was supposedly on Diddy's payroll, which is why he stayed quiet for so long. But maybe something changed, maybe the money stopped, or maybe his conscience finally kicked in. I don't know, y'all. I really don't. What I do know is that there's way more scrutiny now around what actually happened to Kim Porter, and there are people actively digging for answers. So until real, concrete evidence comes out, let me know what you think about the allegation that Kim may have contracted an STD while she was with Diddy. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.